Welcome to the Superstar Communicator podcast. My name is Susan Heaton-Wright, a leading impact, speaking and communications expert. My aim is to show you how to make an impact so you will be heard, listened to and respected for career success. Listen weekly to the podcast and go to our website, superstarcommunicator.com. Hello everybody, this is Susan Heaton-Wright from Superstar Communicator. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I am so excited to let you know that we've had over 50,000 downloads for this podcast, and the feedback that I consistently get from people who are listening from all over the world is the value they get from the podcasts, both the podcast masterclasses that I deliver, but more importantly, the inspiration from the guests that I have. I have a lineup of some incredible guests in the future. Some of the interviews are already in the can, but there are also some that are booked in the next few months. And if you can think of anybody that you believe would be of particular value to come on the podcast, please let me know, because I want to serve you so that you are truly inspired to speak up, have a voice from whatever background you are, from wherever you are, because you are worth it. I want you to make sure that you are listened to, you are respected and not spoken over. So let's get going. I always find this time of the year very interesting because from my point of view, in previous years, I was always involved in lots of music during December and everything was a real rush. But this year, of course, we haven't had that because there hasn't been any live music. And I've been able to focus a lot more on my primary business, which is Superstar Communicator, which includes the podcast. And really thinking about how I'm going to move it forward. But there are certain things that I do that I'm going to share with you because I believe that these will be of huge value to you in looking at the next year, the opportunities that are available to you, perhaps to change your mindset about things. Now, as you know, I have studied neuroscience. I've got a course, a certificate that is verified by the British Psychological Society, so it's a pretty high level course. And one of the things that I learned is that neuroscientifically, we are programmed to put significance into certain times. Now, they can be an anniversary of some kind, whether it's an anniversary of you getting a degree or a wedding anniversary or a birthday or the birthday of somebody else or when you started work. But there is one at this time of year which is very significant to many, many people. And in many cultures, for many, many years, people have spent this time looking backwards at the year that is ending and also looking forward to the next year. And if done really well, it can be a hugely invaluable activity to do. I know that there are plenty of people that will be sending out and posting and selling you courses that you can plan your year and you can get your goals and be really successful. And I think that's absolutely brilliant. I believe it's really, really important to set big, fat, scary goals at this time of the year and to plan your year to see how you could achieve that, even if the year just changes which we've had in 2020. However, I also believe that there are some things that we should do when we are reflecting on the previous year and thinking about the next year. And one of the most powerful things to do is to share this with other people, not by typing things or posting things on social media, but actually speaking to them, whether that you have family members or people that you are sharing a house with, that you can share that with, but also to be accountable to what you're planning to do. I've also got 3 activities that I do which nourish you, the person, and focus on different aspects of your life that I believe you will find invaluable, and they're also a lot of fun. So here goes. Here's the first one, and that is a celebration of your year in a jam jar. This is something that I do every year. At the beginning of the year, I find a large jam jar, but you could use a box or something like that. And I label it with the year, and I say my brilliant year and the name of the date of the year. I have to confess that this year I stopped putting things in the middle of March when we went into lockdown. I think that it was just too difficult. But what I do is that I've got lots of little pieces of paper, and whenever something wonderful happens, I write it down and put it into the jam jar. And then at the end of the year, I go open up the jam jar, empty all of those pieces of paper, and I read through them and I remember them. I remember every single occasion, because it can be very easy for us to forget all of the great things that have happened, all of the activities we've done, all of the experiences, all of the people that we have met, all of those things. And it is such a good thing to do, whether you do it by yourself. Perhaps you might want to share some of those things with other people, either virtually by Zoom calls or people in your household. But it is something great to do. So that's my first tip. Go and find either a large jam jar or a box, a tin perhaps. Have lots and lots of little pieces of paper, and every time in the next year that you have something wonderful that happens to you, perhaps you get a lovely card from somebody, perhaps you have a lovely comment, perhaps you have a great experience, you win something, you actually get a new job, all of those sorts of things, write in there. And then at the end of the year, you will remember all of these things, I assure you. The second thing, and this is something I'm particularly excited about because I've got a free worksheet for you. And this is what I call the New Year Outlooks worksheet. And what I have created is a series of grids, a series of rectangles, boxes, for you to be inspired by the word or phrase that I have given. So I'm going to share a couple of them with you. I put on one square, achieve, and another, read, another one, create. And then underneath in the box, you write what inspires you by that word. What makes you think, oh, I'm going to try this. This is how I will change it. So I'm looking at my son's from last year, and he actually said do more. He put video games and create more video games, because he wanted to create some more money, more privacy. But these words are not related to goal setting. There are other aspects of your life, and it is really, really powerful thing to do. And it's even more powerful if you do it independently and share the outcomes from this with perhaps a trusted partner, your business buddy, that sort of thing, and keep a record of them. it is a really, really interesting activity. And if you would like a copy of the worksheet, you need to go to superstarcommunicator.com/New Year Outlooks. And there are no dashes between those three words. So what I would suggest you do is that you download it and then go through the process, get a cup of tea, get a cup of coffee, and just open your mind to thinking outside the box, to be inspired by those particular words. And share it with your friends. It might be that in a discussion you find out more about yourself. They might give you some ideas about how you could perhaps organize yourself a little bit better. You might have your own ideas, but someone else might have a great idea from a third person point of view, not you being in your business or in your life. So I hope that that's of interest. The other thing that I think is really, really helpful is what I call the 100 things. Now, I don't have a download for this, but you can easily set up a list with 100 spaces or even 50 spaces. But I think 100 is quite a lot and it's quite a challenge. And you can always leave some spaces open for when you're inspired in future. I find at this time of the year, I'm starting to say to my husband and my son, oh, wouldn't it be nice to do this next year? Wouldn't it be lovely to do this? I'd like to do that. And I'd like to visit this place. I'd like to watch those things. Now, at the time I'm speaking, we're in lockdown. So some of these things we won't be able to do at this stage. But it's so easy to forget those moments when we're thinking, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. Why not spend some time on your own, just reflecting and trying to remember those things and really be bold. Fill those spaces. Yes, I want to swim the Serpentine swim this year. Yeah, I'd like to go up to Scotland. Yes, I would like to spend some more time working on my swimming stroke. I would love to go and see Lionel Richie in concert next year because I know he's touring. All things like that. And just be bold, just write them down. And what normally happens is that you can come up with about 30 things and then you begin to struggle. And it's this time that is the magic, because you're actually stretching your mind to really think about some great things. It might be that you want to have some things related to your business or your career. It could be that you're wanting to hit promotion. It might be that you're wanting to increase your salary. It might be that you're actually wanting to change careers or get a new qualification. Even so, those things are great to put down, but remember all of the fun things as well. I think that you can Google, you can search for free downloadable list documents so that you can do this independently, or just get a piece of paper and start writing on those things. Now, you know, like I know, that the Superstar Communicator is all about communications. These things, those three things, the jam jar, the worksheet, and the 100 things, you could do independently and quietly. The magic happens when you start sharing it with other people. I've mentioned before that these are things that I do with my husband and son every year. They've become part of our rituals, and it is more invaluable because we are able to share and get ideas and understand other people even more. You might want to do this with family members, or you might have a couple of friends that you really, really respect, you trust, you enjoy their opinions, you enjoy their conversation, and just be open to the conversation that will flow from these starters. If there are specific goals that you are setting and you need accountability next to them, you need to ask the other people if they would be accountable to you, and then plan accordingly. Do I speak to these people once a month? But there's a lot for you to go away with, a lot of really exciting activities that you can do. And remember that you can download the worksheet, which is superstarcommunicator.com/New Year Outlooks. So I would love it if you would let me know how you get on with these particular exercises. Are there any insights that you have gained from yourself or the people that you're sharing this with? Have you enjoyed looking through your New Year jam jar list or your worksheets, or even the 100 things, the list? I would love to know, because sharing is part of us being human beings and social animals. So until next time, this is Susan Heaton-Wright from Superstar Communicator. Thanks for listening. You have been listening to the Superstar Communicator podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and review the podcast on iTunes and on apps. Please contact us if you want to discuss any topic, could suggest a topic for us to include, or a guest who could come onto the podcast. Go to superstarcommunicator.com.